We them boys. You better use that too.
My owner's like a donkey out there. It's like,
You'd be pretty good, Chelsea DeNova.
Massive angle there from Chelsea Nova. Oh, we got contact. Holy cow.
this time we were just almost laughing at how lucky I was getting.
Hey, you give me a hug.
Chelsea DeNova.
You can dodge a wrench, that's what I always say. If you can chase somebody's worst run of the day, you can chase their best run at the end.
I like your philosophy.
That's right. Maybe. Sometimes my first run is the best run. We're here, Salt Lake City, actually Grantsville, about 30 minutes outside of Salt Lake City. Flew in this morning, left early. Got a short practice today, a few hours. Gonna get some laps down. Hopefully the weather stays nice. There's some questionable areas in the sky, but it looks like it's gonna be all right. This is a fast track, so last year I got 110 on entry, so I'm gonna sit around 105 this year. Last year we got called out by how much traction the track has. We're a little bit more set up this time, so we'll get some good laps. Last year we ended up on the podium, which was good, but it was a long, hard fight to get there because we were fighting set up in battles. So I'm gonna go out there and do some laps. I'm gonna chase first. I'm chasing power. Try to get 6 or 8 laps today, and then leave 4 for tomorrow.
Last run. Bro, that's some carnage you got going on there.
My last run was ass, dude. It was so not good. I was like, so bad I got on the radio, I'm like, that's an awful way to end the day. You'll have that every once in a while. I just chased Turk, and he smoked me out of outer zone, or out of the inner clip. I dived in to get him again. In outer zone 2, I got set, and I had to make some adjustments, and I just started getting understeer. So I washed off the track, drove back, and tried to get his door again in the last turn, but I was already off track, and wrecked. Not good. I had some good lead runs. We made massive changes to the car, so it's definitely ready for after the car. It showed up way too hooked up. We didn't learn enough from last time. This track just has so much traction, and our cars are just down so much horsepower-wise because of the elevation. We're probably down 250 horsepower or so. And the grip of the track is probably up 30 to 40% over a standard track. So then you're on the balance of like, how many other people have enough power to overcome that, and then they're going to be super fast. And you're like, I can't free my car up so much that it's slow. It's a balance. Any of the turbo cars here are going to do really well because they can still make as much boost as they're supposed to. They'll be a little lazier, but peak power is good. Had a good, successful day. Worst last run ever. I'm going to go to sleep with that in my head tomorrow.
All right, Formula D, Utah. A lot of exciting things could go down here at this event for us, but we just need to focus on, Hayden, what do we need to focus on?
Stay calculated, everyone do their job exactly how they need to do it. We've been doing it. I mean, we've gotten a lot of success this year, so just keep doing what we've been doing.
That's it.
Good job, hey,
All right, we're good. Good job yesterday. We got a lot of changes going on with the cars, a lot of things happening. Everybody did a good job. Wind storm, grabbing tents, still fixing cars. I got all the laps I wanted to get yesterday. I think everybody else did too, so that was good. All right, well, we're a little late to roll out. The team's gonna get the car out there, throw some leads down, get some good laps for qualifying. We ended up decent yesterday. I'm happy with where the car is at. I just need to get the driving where it needs to be. Kind of just taking it easy and ramping it up a little bit throughout the weekend so I don't get to a high level and then keep trying to improve that until I make mistakes. Yesterday was like a 60% day. Today will be like a 75. We'll turn it up for qualifying and see. It's honestly so I don't get bored. I get bored too easy and want to do extreme shit and drive crazy. Like, I don't know if it's just because I grew up skateboarding and BMXing and wanting to do a trick bigger and better every time, but that's been my mentality, and I think it's been a downfall like for most of my career. So just ramping it up nicely, enjoying the driving, not reaching too far, and then turning it up when we need to. But the car's dialed. I'm happy with where it's at. We made some changes overnight just to make it a little easier to drive, but I'm stoked. And if you want to get the winter shirt, make sure you check out chelseaandnova.com. We'll get that up and going and pick one up. Later, guys. I'm like, how? I'm like a dog. My owner's like a donkey out there. It's like, it's gasping for
You need
air.
like superchargers for certain
Just
events
this
or
round.
something. Yeah.
I said that I'm gonna bolt a 100 mil turbo to the exhaust in the back.
Man, Chelsea tore this shit up, dude.
This is our spare.
Oh, here he goes.
That was a good tuck. You looked aerodynamic.
Ain't got shit on the Syrah. I can smoke them upright. 2 up. I need the points, so I'm going for P1. It's very rare that I'm actually going for P1.
Yeah, so Chelsea Nova leads the pack. No time champion, going for his first championship, leads the points. Here we go, that Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Like I said, I think this track really suits Chelsea's style. He's a again, unapologetic, throttle down. And look at that, you see just the car squat with those turbo fans, the disc, and there it is. I mean, look, who's number 1 qualifier? James Dean, Ford Mustang. Who's leading the championship? Chelsea Nova.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that could be, that's challenging of that number 1 spot.
Flat line. So an actual tame initiation for Chelsea Nova. But look how it sets him up through inside clip 1 to outside zone 1. It's perfect. As he goes into 2, tons of angle. He does make a bit of a correction that pulls him out a little bit. I think he kind of realized, it's a little too much sauce in here, but he's all throttle. That smoke does not stop between 2 and 3. Gets in there, using that left foot brake to modulate.
Kanan Naka qualifying 89.66.
So close.
Just a bit outside.
You'd be pretty good, Chelsea DeNova. You're pretty good, bro. We'll keep you going. You have a ride for Irwindale.
Yeah, watching it back, I feel like I should have probably got a better score. I thought it was worse than it was.
It wasn't. You filled out her too the whole time. Your entry was not what they would expect of a Chelsea.
It was like 90 degrees sideways.
Yeah, I think they expected a bigger flick.
You can't.
I'm just
I know. I've been taking it easy on entry because the car can't hold it.
Dude, you filled every zone, and your angle in 3 was better than anyone I've seen.
The judges, I feel like my outer zone 3 risk, like I did just now, the no anything full throttle, late snap flick, like crashing or not pulling it off.
Yeah.
They don't even notice it.
Yeah.
They'd rather, like, if you pull the handbrake there, it's the same value. I told Clay today, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do that all weekend for me. That's it. That's my thing for me all weekend.
Because you're going from 2, no handbrake, flicking right into 3.
Full flick.
That's pretty gangster.
And like just to lock and then come off.
Yeah, that's a risky move. Good job.
No worries, thanks.
Good job, man.
You got 1 point, right? You got 1 point?
Yeah, did I?
You said you left saying you needed 1, so I think you got 1.
Is that my 3rd? Is that what I am?
I think you got 3rd. I think.
I got 1 point.
Yeah, you got 3rd.
Don't quote me.
So qualified 3rd, pretty stoked on it. I didn't think my run was that great, and then I watched it back and it looked really good, so I'm pumped on that. Maybe I'm being a little bit hard on myself. Filled all the zones, got where I needed to. It was my best lead run of the weekend so far, so I'm happy with that. Car's good, still same type of thing. We're just finding the balance of horsepower versus grip versus track conditions, and it's very, very tight window. It always seems like this has a lot of power. It's because I'm floored the whole lap nonstop, so my smoke is much more continuous than most people, but I'm using every single horsepower, and at the end of the track, honestly, I'm basically holding the car back because it doesn't have enough power for the speed and grip that it has, so I'm kind of helping it to stay in the zone with a little bit of left foot brake and kind of doing what I need to do. But yeah, car ran great all day, and chassis feels the best it's felt all weekend. Tear it down, go over everything tomorrow. We have a whole day off outside of autograph session that's in the middle of the day, so we can't take the day off or go somewhere. Thanks, FD. But either way, stoked, excited, and got a 1 point extra for qualifying, so I'm 1 point further in the championship right now.
Crazy they let children work on race cars.
Shorter than your fingertips. Like.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, children.
Oh my God.
Whoa, another guy!
What are we doing here?
Team photo, but right now I don't know what we're doing. I mean, this is recess, basically.
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
We let the kids have to play.
When's nap time?
When's nap time?
Perfect.
Ready to get the smoke, dude? From me, dude.
The only thing you're going to catch is smoking crap. The carts are all within like 2 seconds, so they're close enough
That's good.
where it's even-ish.
It'll be competitive.
Wheel bearings on these.
Yeah, that's the problem. The problem is wheel bearings.
Okay.
Because like, the straight is so long and you're at top speed for so long in the back section that like if a cart has a little higher of a limiter, you have a huge advantage.
And I want to remind everyone that we need everybody that's here tomorrow. We need you all.
Also,
So don't be an asshole.
Also, here's the deal.
It's easy to say I don't know.
If you get more than 1 turn ahead, you have to let 4 people pass you.
Oh, I like that rule.
That way, no one checks out, and we're all driving together the
I
whole
like
time.
that rule.
Unless it's you and you never look back.
I would come out of the turn, pinch it on him, and he'd just roll me on the backside. On the straight, I grabbed him and blew myself back. Right there. That was perfect. That's the move. Because his car is so fast. By the way, I had a good cart though. I had a good cart. Yeah. Ours were like dead even.
Yeah. I was starting to cut the corner. I run short already. Yeah. You can go short. I was getting like a couple feet. Like I feel like fast enough to need the big track. Bro.
I was just like foot off the brake.
I saw you going to the side.
And he just run me right off the side.
I left you a whole cart length. It's just you were too far left.
Yo, that corner after the straight, just no lift, double apex, so fun, bro.
Track is really good.
Are you doing cheating?
We're gonna spin around a little bit. We're gonna lean around. Nice.
You're going down, clown.
Yeah, and I look, and the three of us are the only three that made it.
I couldn't breathe laughing.
I was laughing my ass off. Oh my god.
Yeah, watch that whole thing.
Who ran into you during that incident? You ran?
No, I bumped you going in.
I thought I was going over because I was full off through the dirt. I was like, I'm going around.
I was around you, and we both hopped out of the gravel together.
When you guys came out, you guys were just like. Face hurts from smiling. I was cheesing the whole time.
High-fiving him.
Preston won, right? Yeah, Preston? All right. He's going to be sad when I tell him that I met the only like full-time team members.
I think it trickles down to me then, right?
Right, yeah, I'm like firing in and as soon, like in qualifying, way too fast and then hard abrupt, and then when I put the throttle back up, it was struggling.
It looks way better if you progressively
I just
slow
need to
down
smooth it
through
out.
it. Yeah.
I'm using the foot brake to like pivot the car at angle though.
Yeah.
So I'm like on it, but not like trying to slow down on
Right.
it, just using it to pivot.
And that's what I was doing too, to pivot.
Yeah, I think it's when you're coming in here and you're looking at that last cone. Before you get to that cone, look here.
Yeah.
Right, because that'll get you to go.
Yeah.
Because if you light off and turn your head, it's gonna drive straight down the hill.
Yeah.
So I think that'll clean that up, and then I think the stopwatch will be faster.
Okay, early morning, Saturday morning, game day. It's we got practice and then top 32. I have power in top 32. We just had our meeting. I gotta sneeze, hold on. Anyways, I got any boogers, we good? So, top 32 with power. We made some changes to the car because I was getting some push in turn 1, push in turn 2, turn 3 was fine. The bank's really helping the car hook up there. Push is understeer. And it's on throttle understeer, like when you're midway through the turn, so we're just not enough grip in the front end. So we made some changes to put some more grip in the front end. Most of those changes will also free up the rear of the car, which will also help the front. But then we'll put some more in after these first few laps of practice to see. Hopefully we get three laps. We might get 4. We'll see. We got a really good bracket to be able to have a car that stays the same throughout the weekend or the rest of the day, and hopefully put it on the podium.
There's springs on the shop, and there's brake fluid in the lines.
Hey, there's a bolt in here.
Hey, there's 2 bolts.
Alright.
I even see a nut.
Definitely fluid in the diff because it is leaking.
The only nut I see is Dan. Dan's the nut.
Hey, dude, can you give me some of those Allens you got there?
I got it.
Because I need them.
Whoa, here she comes. Watch out, boys. She'll turn you on.
I think that's the word.
Well, it is today.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you wake up, you have a rough morning, but you can turn it around for sure, and that's kind of where we're at, making a couple changes to the car to get my confidence up and just hopefully get some clean air with our first lead lap and change the attitude for the rest of the weekend.
What are we doing over here? Are you about to go out?
Yeah, we're about to go out, so we decided to take some front camber out.
We're on Amazon.
Yeah.
How many runs until you're up?
Like 2.
Oh. Nice. Well, maybe someone will go for track.
It doesn't really matter. Like with my practice the way it went, like I'm full reset for this battle anyway.
It's like a new day every day.
That's right.
And we just make the days. How many days are in a week?
By the time I'm done on the podium, it'll be Tuesday of next week. The following one. I just imagine the popcorn flying to get an 11/16.
No, wait till. The
thing is, when I do this, Gibby yells at me.
Like yesterday, I caught a trunk lid so it didn't like decapitate Ray and I in the back over there. That was awesome. Like Abby hit a Mustang. That was good. Not ours.
Oh, he got it.
Oh
no! Denova, he qualified 3rd. I think they know how to run this track. So Mike Power qualifying 30th, barely getting in. So here we go. Denova, the Penzo RTR Spec 5, FD on Nitto tires, into that inside clip. Look at that big massive angle, pulling up that left front wheel. Hitting switches. Mike Power dropping back quite a bit. Here goes Denova into that second outside zone. Mike Power taking that shallow line, trying to hang tough into that final outside zone. And Denova just putting on a clinic. I would say Mike Power was front row, but he's back there a little bit on that second. Finally gained some ground in the last outside zone.
Style, aggression. This is Chelsea Denova at his best. So good initiation there. We've seen him go crazier, but he knows he's got to play it a little bit safe here. Fills outside zone 1 after absolutely crushing inside clip 1. Gets to outside zone 2. Maybe comes out of the zone just a touch there. Mike Power just trying to keep up with that RTR Mustang. They are so fast. They're so gripped up. Those Nittos just bite into the pavement. But where things can get crazy here is if Mike is a little bit slower, Chelsea's going to have to hold that car back a little bit. But you can see here what the difference is in both grip and speed as Mike has to cut a good chunk of the track just to get into the same ballpark. But now that they swap it up, so a couple things to think about here. Tire degradation.
So look how staggered Chelsea Denova is. That's kind of a flex right there. He might slingshot in here and just throw it right to the side. Does he need to do that? Not so much, but you don't want to leave it in the judge's hands. Here goes Mike Power initiating into that inside clip. Chelsea Denova dives on in. Mike Power comes up a little bit short there. That caused Chelsea Denova go off. There goes that bumper budget once again. Chelsea Denova probably, oh boy, Chelsea Denova going way off course. So does Mike Power. This is an interesting turn of events.
Yeah.
But here goes Mike Power. Spins out. Oh boy. And to go 110%.
Yeah, and he did a big initiation there. You can tell by him rowing through the gears how much speed he tried to get. Really hits that inside clip, which we've seen has been dangerous all day. Chelsea Denova almost looks like he straightens there. I'm sure the judges will be staring at that. And then the car has so much forward bite as he tries to get back in the zone.
Oh boy, that
might have been
front
3.
left, dude. And he corrected there.
And then almost opposite locks. Like there's a lot that's going on here.
But then Mike Power independently, he spins out. Sorry to cut you off, but
no, you're right. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and we've had, some track cleanup. Are the guys going through that? I mean, I have no doubt that the track officials did everything to get everything cleaned up, but it is just wild out there. It's Mike Power a little bit shallow through there. Chelsea way too deep through there, and it looks like he did go 3 off.
I think it will benefit Chelsea that it won't benefit Chelsea that he made a mistake, but he got a lucky break there with Mike spinning. Here we go, slide him left for Denova, right for Mike Power. And this is what I had to assume was going to happen, but I don't, people call me the 4th judge. I just call it like I see it, man. So
he didn't pick the throttle up until after the inner clip. Yeah. After inner clip, he picked up the throttle. You're waiting. And then he slammed on the handbrake to get around the clip when I had already lit off. I was like, I'm like, and his car obviously drove in, and my car just started going wide because I was waiting for so long. I was like, I couldn't even stop for outer 2. I was like, I'm so far track right. There's not even enough time to slow down. And then I see him spin, and I'm like, I'm about to cream him. But he was gonna mow inner clip 1, so he handbraked and backed up again while I was already on charge. I had nowhere to go. And if I hit somebody, I lose. That's how it works. It doesn't matter if the guys gets out of his car, pulls away, and I hit him. It's my fault, no matter what.
A little dust in this side?
No, it's
the setup. It's definitely the setup.
That was me out there driving. I don't.
Thorne, feeling good.
How you really feeling?
Time to learn how to drive. Yeah, the front end changes and everything else.
Tasty earwax lubricant for, hey!
You know, Ray, sometimes I just like pointing the camera at you to see what you say.
Dude, I didn't even know what I was saying until you pointed the camera at me. Throws the hat into the door, puts the Hans on, puts the belts on, plugs the microphone in, lickety click, lickety clack. He's gonna touch his glasses at some point. In the middle, place them on his head.
You got taller.
Yeah, I was trying to see what it's like to be these guys. It's pretty cool. There's a lot more shade up here.
Trying to feel what I... Ready, go!
Other side, other side, other side. Just lift it up, just lift it up.
Other side.
Yeah, Chubby, you told me here. Other side.
Plenty of time, all day, baby.
Hell yeah, Bush.
Yep.
I like it.
Way to go. Yep. Way to go.
In Seattle, here we go. Chelsea Denofa will lead. He qualified 3rd. Robert Thorne qualified 19th. Chelsea Denofa, that Ford Mustang. Here we go. Chelsea Denofa past the inside clip. A wide swing in that first outside zone. Hits it and quits it. Now to that second outside zone. Here goes Chelsea Denofa. He is definitely taking him to the Applebee's here in that second outside zone. Big angle from Chelsea Denofa. The Nitto tires go ablaze. The bumpers go shredding. Robert Thorne taking a very shallow line. Chelsea Denofa very aggressive, filling all of the second and third outside zone. Robert Thorne on the struggle bus to hang with that very powerful Mustang RTR.
Yeah, and every driver's got to be careful, especially in this lead run here, this lead position for Denofa. You do not want to overshoot that first outside zone. He gets dangerously close there, goes pretty far off, takes out some of the cones, but he's back on it. And as you said, Jared, really the point of difference here is the distance between Denofa and Thorne. Denofa is gripped up really well. Thorne starts to close the door here towards the end, but Denofa had such a gap on him at the beginning that he really didn't have too much of an opportunity to attack. You can see some mistakes by Denofa. He missed the first inside clip. He went deep into the outside zone, a bit too deep, but he was able to kind of start settling in here in the second and third. Very clean, kind of classic Denofa style, full throttle all the way, huge smoke line, and that allows Thorne to start attacking. But now we've got the second half of the run, Jared.
But second-time customer, first-time customer here in Utah as a pro driver. Here we go. Robert Thorne out front. Chelsea Denofa. Again, Robert needs to run his own line. Chelsea Denofa, he's going to apply the pressure. Big angle there from Robert Thorne. Kind of overshoots that inside clip. Oh, and Chelsea Denofa goes off. Chelsea Denofa overshoots it. He shuts it down. This is exactly what I was saying. Robert Thorne, he needs to make sure, as look at that, we are seeing a fender go flying. And now transitioning back in that last outside zone. And Denofa goes off course and re-enters it, but here is where it gets sticky.
Thorne was going off. He's leading Denofa off, right? He's setting the pace here. So take a look at the initiation. Now Denofa's doing the right thing. He's in proximity. Thorne goes so far into outside zone 1. Denofa is trying to do the... Now Denofa may have had more speed, but it's Thorne that is dictating the line. And so if Thorne goes off and he's able to make it through, the question is should Denofa, but as he's closing in proximity, you can see Thorne is way past that outside zone, that marker on the outside zone. So at first glance, there certainly is going to be at least one scenario here where Thorne is leading Denofa off and Denofa really had nowhere to go. Yep, if that's what happened, then Denofa's going to win.
So there it is. Chelsea Denofa gets the win.
I was like, this weekend, we've just been like,
I cannot take this, dude.
because your skin goes missing.
Well, I was looking at it and I was like, I'm pretty sure if I stay in it, I'm going to be 3 off by a mile. And
I think you would have pulled it.
You think?
Yeah, I was right there, ready for you to pull it.
Yeah.
But I saw your car like unload and start sliding. I was like, get on the gas, get on the gas.
Yeah. Ah, shit. What was up with yours? You get
nitrous
It still
solenoid.
sounded funny on the run.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I went off at 1. I didn't have the power. I washed
Yeah,
out.
your run up was slow. Yeah, it was good at the end-ish.
Yeah.
Is nitrous solenoid sticking?
That and like I think the idling and me trying to purge it down, because if my purge locked up, that's why I did the burnout. It was like trying to purge the model down mechanically.
Yeah. Try to get the solenoid to
Yeah.
Championship, and again, previous years we've seen Chris Forsberg get a championship without a single win, meaning a first place. But right now it is Denofa and Kazuya Taguchi. Kazuya Taguchi up garage, ISR performance vehicle in that chase position. Denofa, you got American versus JDM, both the vehicle and the driver. Japanese domestic market. Denofa gets involved in the dirt, the gravel, and Kazuya straightens out. Kazuya Taguchi goes straight left. Taguchi shuts it down.
Taguchi does have an incomplete.
Leading the points championship.
Let's take a look here. You can see the surging there from Taguchi. He gets lost in the smoke. He goes way off course. That may even be the incomplete there. And then right there loses it in the middle of outside zone 2. Now Denofa gave every Denofa fan a scare there for a second, but he's able to hang on, and fortunately for him, he's able to get through the run with an incomplete, it looks like, from Taguchi in the chase position, which means Denofa still needs to finish the run overall.
Yeah, Taguchi, we're getting word that Taguchi did go 3 off at that outside zone. That's like what Robert Thorne did, right? So there's one red and white rumble strip. We went beyond that.
Denofa's in the driver's seat because in the chase position, I think it's easier to deal with that.
All right, here we go. Kazuya Taguchi will lead. Chelsea Nova giving chase. You can see that bumper flapping. Looks like, again, both of them have a rear bumper flapping. Going to this second outside zone. If Denofa keeps it where the rubber meets the road, he will get the win here with that incomplete of Kazuya Taguchi. Taking that tighter line is Chelsea Nova. Is he kicking back too much? And again, sometimes that could not favor Denofa. A driver like Denofa, it looks like all signs are saying that Chelsea Denofa, without that 3 wheels off, Denofa.
I missed it.
On this side, buddy. Over here. Right here. So they went first.
All right, you're gonna need to move now.
I'm not plugging in.
Watch your. Clean that off. Are you bled off? Yes. You're bled off.
When you were chasing it sounded like I had it lit off
Zip
sweet.
tying this to the
That
other
was me
solenoid.
banging. I had no nitrous the whole run out the chase.
Yeah.
And you're like, am I going to have nitrous? I don't know. Am I going to have nitrous?
I can answer.
Am I not going to have nitrous?
Yes. Crack the bottle. Stop. Where did I miss?
Remember, the tides turned last year at this event.
Yes, it did. Here we go. Simon Olsen out front. Chelsea Denofa in the chase position. Simon Olsen is absolutely hitting it right now. Our number 2 qualifier, massive angle. Can Denofa keep up with that? Gets that hammer strip. Denofa. Again, car gets disrupted, but Simon Olsen, you can see that field suspension just sucking to the ground, hitting that 3-wheel motion. Chelsea Denofa in the chase position, but Olsen fills all that second outside zone. Having supercharged, worked that supercharged LS, getting all the way to that outside zone. Denofa, our points leader.
Not often that you see somebody that is able to keep Chelsea Denofa off of their rear bumper, let alone their door. And Simon Olsen is able to do that while still driving these very deep lines, both in outside zone 1 and 2. Now here's where Denofa starts to get the ability to attack a little bit more, but notice it's maybe half of a car length is as close as he's got. So he's really gonna have to turn this one around in the lead position and try to equally gap Simon Olsen, because even with cutting the line there from 1 to 2 and then getting back on the appropriate line, he was not able to gain that proximity that you would like to see in order to give yourself a real opportunity and an advantage to get the win after this second run.
Who is going against Matt Field right now? Is it Denofa in the Ford Mustang? Simon Olsen in that S chassis. Chelsea Denofa, Pennzoil Mustang RTR. Going for driver and manufacturer's championship. Big angle from Denofa. He throws it in. Simon Olsen overcooks it. Olsen overcooks it. He goes sideways. Denofa continues on. And that was a hard act to follow with Denofa initiating into that second outside zone. Standing on the throttle. Risking it all for the victory. And look at that. We talked about how dominant that horsepower was of Simon Olsen, but then the tide shifted.
Olsen basically starts almost the process of an understeer, tries to catch it, stays in it. He doesn't actually understeer, but he pushes off of the course and it has to stop drifting. I think that that's going to be entirely on Olsen. Let's just watch Denofa out front. Pretty clean initiation. He's back on throttle way before inside clip number 1. And it looks like Olsen just gets a bit too close, starts losing the front end, is not able to catch it, and then Denofa is off to the races.
And here we go. Slide of left for Olsen or Chelsea. Denofa on the right. Denofa's going to the final.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Baby.
Yes!
Yeah!
Baby!
Oh,
yes!
Come on, Chelsea. Come on! Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
You're a good luck charm. You should stick around a little bit.
Luckiest son of a bitch to put on a pair of shoes.
Good. Got it. Right here, baby. Good. Forward, forward, forward. Make sure the lead stay on the plug.
Welcome back. We are about to get into the finals with Matt Field versus Chelsea Denofa, and Chelsea Denofa in his car right now getting ready. The team moving around him quite quickly. Ray Shake is here.
I definitely won't deny I've been getting some lucky scenarios here. I mean, I've been able to put the good lead runs down or put it where it needs to be on the run where someone else is unlucky. Where skill, but it's mostly been just a little luck today, to be honest with you. I was saying on the radio to my team, I'm like, I'm the luckiest person on earth right now.
Raise my hand.
It's wild out there. Everyone's pushing really hard. We're having a bunch of little mechanicals that are causing some confidence on my end and kind of missing out on things right when I need it. And they're causing some mistakes on my end. So I'm just trying to drive through and do the best we can. And for once, I mean, I am playing luck is hard here for once.
Yeah.
Chelsea Denofa out front, initiated in the front of Matt Field. Big, massive angle there for Chelsea Denofa. Oh, we got contact. Holy cow. Yard sale. And that was a massive hit.
Field is surging forward here. Denofa's lighting off there before the inside clip. Looks like Field starts to unwind the front end, and you see more than contact, a collision with Denofa right at the beginning of the first corner, right there. And there's a really great audio coming off the FPV drone. You can actually hear both cars very well, but
yeah, let's run that back.
Oh, you want me to lay out?
Yeah. Right, and you said it, that audio.
Come aboard.
I'm glad everyone's having as fun as I am.
And a buttload of Kevlar.
You know, I've seen this happen for other people. I've never experienced it.
Yeah.
I hope they're having as much of a style as I am. I hope it happens. I'm like, I'm just good enough at the right time.
Just from your entry as a distance, it's going to be amazing. Like he's in. It's
it
over.
was like big wheelie,
Oh,
good angle.
so good.
Little bit of push.
It was the biggest angle you had. Biggest angle you had all weekend. It was sick. I know why though. Don't take it bad. I know why. You're doing the right thing.
Come down up a little bit. What about this time?
You're right.
Push-ups, dude.
For Chelsea Denofa and Matt Field, you're 1-2 in the championship. You're 1-2 here in Utah. Let's send it. Matt Field out front, battered, bruised, sans the bumper into that first inside clip. Matt Field Field going into that second outside zone. Denofa maybe tempering the flame, dialing it back a little bit, finding the sweet spot. Matt Field has that. Let's go. What is it? Incomplete. Now bring it on into that final outside zone. Matt Field feeling all of it, but that major mistake. Handshakes all around here for the Nitto Tire pilot. He pretty much just, is there a correction there by Chelsea Denofa? Are we really analyzing? All right, taking a look at this from the start.
Well, they're looking at the transition here. Did Chelsea straighten right there? It's hard to tell in the smoke line. I mean, it's definitely not great. It's not great. I mean, what I was looking for was, in my mind, was don't spin out, don't go drive off course, and through the smoke line there.
You know, this is where it's at. It's from outside zone 1 into outside zone 2. Focus on the bright yellow nose
right
of
there.
Chelsea Denofa.
It's it's very, very close, and it's on the transition, which I think actually helps Denofa a little bit, because it's going the other way and your wheels do have to cross over that center section for a little bit.
Again, with a win for Chelsea Denofa, he has a 53-point lead over Matt Field. If Matt Field gets the win, that shrinks to 29 points. So make some noise, Utah, for our top 3 finishers. Third place here in Utah, Simon Olsen. And now your winner here at Utah, round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, going in Irwindale. It is solidified. Your points leader. How big that gap is TBD. But your winner here is Chelsea Denofa, unanimously gets the win. Driving that Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5 on Nitto Tires. That means second place here at Utah. Second in points, piling that Borla exhaust, Corvette, GT Radial. Make some noise for the beast from the Bay, Matt Field. 53 points separate them now going into the final round.
Congratulations on your 3rd win of the season. This was hard fought.
Yeah, it was a little bit. I mean, I was telling them I've seen other people get lucky with rounds, and I'm like, man, like one day I might get that, you know, and like this time we were just almost laughing at how lucky I was getting throughout it, but like there was a little bit of skill behind it and playing what I needed to do and being where I needed to be, and just mostly enjoying how funny it was that I kept getting those little bits of luck throughout everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we just got to keep this momentum going into Irwindale. And I know that the response is normally you take it battle by battle. Is that the mentality?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody wants to win a championship, but you don't get there by fighting for it every time. You got to win battles and do what you can to get there and get those points, and that's kind of where it's at. And this year we've been lucky enough where we've had a lot of good rounds and we're getting up there in points, and we obviously need to go to Irwindale and do our best to secure it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a little bit of time before we step into Irwindale, so what's the plan there?
Do some driving, have some fun. I love drifting, so I'm going to drive probably at least 5 or 6 days before then, enjoy it, take some time off, prep, and then there's a good Run the Jewels concert on Thursday before Irwindale, so I'm going to probably go see that.
Chelsea, I love that response. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, get loud. Chelsea Denofa, your winner here in Utah.
Thank you. Did all right. She's like, I'm out now. Later. Maybe we'll get some better runs in next time. Practice. Yo, I had 0 clean battles the whole time. Really?
I was either off, and then the other person was 3 off, like, but way behind me, so it was like separated. I'm like, I lost. And then Simon blew off. After I was like, I'm done. I just need to just be on the track and hope. Yeah. And it wasn't even great.
He smoked his ass out. He couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
He got right here.
That's it. That's what happened with me and you because I was ready for the flick, but you drove straight in. So what happened is I got deep behind you and just sat there.
in the smoke, yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna transition, drag the handbrake, and I'm like dragging. I'm like
still in smoke.
I'm like, I'm a light off. I'm early, but I'm a light off, and then just hopefully get out with you. And then you did a sick flick here in front of me while I was trying to gain.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm about to lose this by going off or hitting
Straighten
you.
out,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
slammed like front nose down to stop to just get the run done.
I was wide open transitioning through.
Yeah, I was too until I started having all these problems. Like all practice, all qualifying.
Dude, the track was way slippery today.
Way.
Crazy.
Way slippery.
From the first lap.
Yes.
Crazy.
Hey, monsters, when you guys get through with this celebration, we're going to go to the podium, and we're going to take the pit road.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Dude.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, you give me a hug. Good job. Good job, brother. Good job.
Third place here at round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, Simon Olsen! Second in points going to the championship, it is Matt the Beast with the best. This gentleman now has 3 victories here this year, 5 overall for RTR. Outside of that, it was this gentleman in Long Beach, it was Odie Bakshi's in St. Louis, but again, he assumes that lead 50 some odd for the championship. Will come down to him. Your winner here tonight, round 7 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, Penzo, RTR, Mustang, Spec 5, FDM, BC Racing, Coilovers, Chelsea Denofa! Cracking that monster can, Type S getting lit. There you go, my friend. Overall, you know, field got in the back end of you, but overall, what a crazy track, what a crazy day.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very interesting event because I feel like I had a lot of luck on my side for sure. And it kind of proves that, like, you just got to make less mistakes than the other driver. Neither of you have to be perfect to get a win. Someone's going to win by just making less mistakes, and I haven't experienced that before. So there was a lot of that today to make up for me not experienced it previously. But the team was keeping the car going. We had tons of these little gremlins happening throughout the runs, and the team got it really, really solid for top 4 and on, and threw everything they had at it. And hopefully their hands are all okay because it was like 270 water temp while they were changing spark plugs. So that's kind of a fun one. And yeah, just overall really happy to get a win. It feels a little different because it was like not off of some badass driving this time, but I think the drivers all agree we had a ton of fun out there for sure. It's just a hard track, and it changes like throughout the entire weekend. When I went off track at Outer Zone 2, like I didn't do anything different than the run before, and I was just like, I'm at the beach hanging out, and like same, you know, it's like it wasn't like I was like, is my speed faster? Was it? No, it just changed, you know, and it's like, oh, it's only 3 turns, but like you got to be perfect for those 3 turns, you know, it's tough. So I really appreciate you guys all coming out. Good vibes out here. This place is beautiful.
Well, we got fun haver hats, right, for these guys, and are you offering that fun?
I'm not driving.
Good?
We good? We good?
Okay.
So I'm excited we got the win. It was a very interesting event this weekend. Normally you'll go through an event and have one lucky scenario where someone makes a mistake and allows you to go one more time or gives you the win when you've also made mistakes as well. There was lots of mistakes made from everyone this weekend. I'm sure if you asked any of the drivers this weekend, they would be like, man, we all did not do a great job of bringing our A game and driving the best we can. And I think it's a balance of how difficult the track was, and not because of how difficult it is because of its 3 turns and it's fast or any of that, but more because of the judges wanting you to be on the edge of the track within 2 feet at 75 or 80 miles an hour when there's decels and accelerations and lots of smoke from the chase driver. So the lead driver was really, really important to have a really good run so that the chase driver could have the opportunity to do a good job as well. So I know there's lots of focus on that. Not the best driving, I think, and we would all agree from that, but I ended up on top. I'm really excited about it. Obviously it puts us in a really good spot for going into Irwindale, so I'm excited about that. I think we're about 50 points ahead. I'm not really playing the championship game. It would be nice to make sure we just get a podium at Irwindale, seal the deal, and finish on a win. And that's kind of the goal that we've always gone for at Irwindale. So it should be fun. I'm excited. Time to fly home and take a day off.